Hello, bakers in the baking world. Welcome to your Forum Friday. My name is Mark Flurka, Bakerpedia's Baked in Science podcast host, and I'm hosting your Forum Friday this month. Every month, Dr. Lynn and I get together to have a look at some of the interesting posts in our social media groups, the Baking Industry Professionals group on Facebook and LinkedIn. This month, Dr. Lynn is busy supporting entrepreneurs with their challenges directly in scaling up and bringing things to market with lots of exciting new things coming on the market. And you'll see Dr. Lynn will have a hand in that. It'll be obvious to you. You'll see, right? If you're not a member yet, come and join us. It's a safe place for professionals to share ideas, get help, ask questions, share answers, and have discussions. We have now officially surpassed 3,000 members. Woohoo! We have a steady growth of about 18% every month. My favorite thing about the group is the engagement. Last month, there have been 70 posts and over 2,000 active members. That is amazing. So many other groups around on social media are full of lurkers and spammers. We are definitely loaded with passionate bakers. The other great thing with all this activity is that if it weren't for the passionate and knowledgeable members sharing and supporting each other, I would never be able to keep up. The group has a very safe and resourceful feeling to it, and I thank you all for your participation in this. Now, let's have a look at some interesting posts from this month. One recent conversation has a fair amount of good activity is a question about pH in bread. I wanted to talk about this for a couple of reasons. For starters, I would like to encourage you all when you're working on research and development, investigating problems, quality control, and so on, stop for a moment and ask yourself, why? Why do you want to do this? Why do I want to use this? Why is the most important always more important than the how? Okay, back to pH. The question posted is about how to measure pH in bread. Well, how? Well, okay, but why? Right? Some have graciously jumped in to help with direction, and others have rightly asked the question of why and made relative suggestions. The measurement of pH will provide you with the level of acidity or alkalinity of the sample. This is usually done by diluting the sample, such as baked bread, in distilled water and using a probe to measure the potential of hydrogen. To measure the amount of acidity, we need to perform titratable acidity. The methods for both of these you can find on Bakerpedia. Hover over the processes and select analytical methods, and you will see an alphabetical list of method information available. Acidity can be important for a variety of reasons. For shelf life effectiveness of mold inhibitors, the level of pH is key, as in ensuring the correct level of acidity. For determining fermentation and sourdough acidity is where TTA comes in to quantify the amount of acidity. The instruments for pH can range from $70 found on Amazon to high precision scientific instruments costing $2,000 to $3,000 and everything in between. Understand why you want to know or do something before you spend $3,000 you may not need to. Another great discussion just started is on aerated confectionary filling for biscuits or cookies. This is one of those growing pain challenges of upscaling when making the marshmallow filling in a planetary mixer. Everything is perfect, and the filling sets up perfectly. When scaling up to large batch production and using an aerator, the filling is not setting properly. This is currently an ongoing conversation and will be interesting to see how and when this gets resolved. If you have purchased the equipment from the manufacturer, they are often the best resource for troubleshooting. Even if you have bought it used, they will often still support it, unlike the retail industry. One of the suggestion inquiries in the conversation is to check and compare specific gravity, which I also agree with. Hopefully, the simple solution will be the amount of back pressure or final mixing head pressure needs to be lowered to get the specific gravity in line. In other words, it could be that there is too much air in the filling. The only other possibility I can think of from my experience is the rotation speed of the mixing head. In these machines, it is high speed. It could be from 1,000 to 5,000 RPM. Too much shear may destabilize the protein. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this is for a vegan marshmallow foam. So there is no traditional gelatin which can tolerate a lot of shear. Many of the gums and proteins used in vegan applications are less flexible in adjusting to the processing changes. Another uncommon challenge is a unique cracker product. The poster is making crackers from spent brewer grains. These would be the malted barley and hops used in brewing beer. Essentially, it is a waste byproduct. They are making crackers from this and also have another byproduct from sunflower oil processing. When oils are produced from sunflower or soy or corn or canola, you first end up with might be termed crude oil. It's dark in color, smelly, and maybe even a bit viscous. To refine this to end up with a clear, clean oil, the process is known as degumming. The stuff that is removed is thick and gummy in texture, and it's mostly lecithin. The lecithin has properties that do not bind water, but do help emulsify water, especially with fat. Lecithin is both water and oil-loving. There is great input in this conversation, where in essence the author is recommended to first test the sunflower oil gum with water to gauge its effectiveness as an emulsifier, and then can consider using this in formulating the crackers. In crackers, we generally don't want to use common or traditional gums that are water binding, like hydrocolloids, or only very little, as the objective with crackers is to dry them out, and using gums could make the crackers rubbery in texture. Now, don't forget to sign up for our free seminar on clean label for cakes. Come to this 1-hour seminar, learn about how this trend started and how far the baking world has come in that space when it comes to replacement strategies and ingredient solutions for clean label cakes. Plus, ask questions in the interactive Q&A session. Log into your Bakerpedia Academy and select the free seminar and join us on Thursday, July the 6th, 2023 at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. Well, that's all I have for you today on your Forum Friday. We look forward to chatting with you in the baking industry professionals groups on Facebook and LinkedIn. I'm Mark Florka, Bakerpedia's Baked in Science podcast host. See you all again next month.